Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $10,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 79-year-old male. Now, first thing I recommend is going directly to our website at funeralfunds.com. And we've got these free quoters on just about every page. So just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. And then select the coverage amount. And then put your birthday in there, fill out the rest of the info, click get quotes. Now, it will take you to a page that's going to show you the best insurance companies with the lowest rates based off your age, gender, and the state you live in. And you'll be able to shop around and look at all the different prices. And then give us a call at 888-862-9456. And one of our agents can help you understand what pricing you actually qualify for. Now, one of the first things we always recommend to a 79-year-old male looking for $10,000 is determine, is $10,000 going to be an appropriate amount of coverage for what you need for your final expense needs? Now, final expense needs would typically be either cremation or burial. So let's talk about cremation first. There's actually two options. With cremation, the first option is where you get cremated and then you just come home in a cardboard box or an urn. That's going to be between $1,000 to $2,000 on average. And the second option is if you get cremated and you have some sort of memorial service, like a remembrance of life or celebration of life ceremony, that's going to be $3,500 to $4,500 roughly, depending what part of the country you live in. So the coverage amounts would be different for both of those options. So where you're going to be cremated and come home in a cardboard box or an urn, we would typically recommend and typically help people with $5,000 to maybe $7,000 worth of insurance. Now you might be going, well, Randy, hold on. You said cremation is going to be $2,000 and now you're recommending $5,000. What's the deal there? Well, the deal is our 79-year-old male probably wants to make it to age 89, maybe even a little bit older. So what we do is we include some extra coverage in there and we lock it in at his current youngest age. And what that does is that inflation proofs the plan if he's blessed to live many, many, many more years. But God forbid if he died sooner than anybody thought, there's also some extra coverage in there to cover some other final expense costs, like maybe credit card bills or medical expenses, something like that, that if he'd lived long enough, he would have paid that off. But because he died sooner than anybody thought, those need to be taken care of as well. So it works really great. It takes care of long-term needs and short-term needs. Now, if you're going to have that cremation with some sort of ceremony, we would typically be helping people out with probably $7,000 to $10,000 worth of insurance. Again, same concept. We're inflation proofing the plan for later, getting youngest rates locked in, and God forbid if you die sooner, there's some extra money available. Now, for a burial, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is around $10,000. So if you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States with a $10,000 check, they should be able to help you out. If they can't, you just walk out the door and walk 2 blocks down to one of their competitors, and I have to imagine they'd be able to help you. But just understand, $10,000, that's going to be a very modest funeral, shall we say, very simple. And it's not going to be anything fancy, but they should be able to get it done. And one thing about $10,000, though, is it's not going to be inflation proof. That's kind of what the cost is right now. So the average 79-year-old male, we would be helping probably on average with between $10,000 to $15,000 worth of coverage. And, the more coverage you get, the more inflation proof it's going to be. But by the same token, if all you can afford is $10,000 because you're just on Social Security or disability, get that. That takes care of your most immediate needs. And if you need to add more coverage later, we can always help you add more coverage later. Now, once in a while, somebody will come in and say, hey, I want some final expense coverage, but I want to leave some money behind for my kids as well, too. And they may want, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And sometimes we'll quote that for them. And it's just out of their budget just because they waited until age 79 to get insurance. And we'll let them know. And sometimes they'll say, well, if I can't do everything, I'm not going to do anything. And we just have to have a conversation with them saying, hey, you'd originally wanted to take care of your final expenses. Let's take care of that because we know you're going to die. And if you don't take care of that, your family members are going to have to pay for this. And they're probably going to have to put it on credit cards and pay 26% interest. And it will probably take years and years and years to pay off. So let's at least take care of that. And then if you want to come back at a later date, we can always add a second policy for your children. And that typically works out terrific. Now, if money's not an issue, we can do that all at once. But yeah, we can really help you just be flexible and help this fit your budget so this works for you for the long term. Now, one thing we always recommend getting is first day coverage or benefits. We do not recommend plans with 2-year waiting periods. We'll talk about that in a minute. But what first day coverage means is that hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to write that check for $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, whatever it is. It's going to be the best coverage at the lowest pricing. Now, some people would say, well, you're right, Randy. I do want that first day coverage, but I hear they ask health questions and I'm not in the best of health and I'm worried I may not get approved. Well, what we typically say then is, hey, that's our problem, not your problem, at least from an insurance standpoint, because what we do is we actually work with so many different insurance companies. They all have different health questions. They all have different underwriting. And right now, on average, we're getting 90 to 95% of the people we help approve for either first day coverage or first day benefits. So really the only reason you wouldn't qualify for that is if you had some really significant health issues going on. Maybe you just waited too long and now you've got a terminal illness where you're going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you've got dementia, or you're on dialysis, or in a hospital, or in a nursing home. If something like that were the case, we would typically refer you out to a different insurance company. Now, the other thing that seems to happen on a fairly routine basis is people will give us a call and they'll say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have any insurance and we don't have any money. And now the body's down at the funeral home and the funeral home director's not going to do anything until he gets a check in his hand. And we need to get this insurance really quick so that we can get that check in our hand to pay off the funeral home guy. We have to let them know that there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to offer a policy on a dead person. You actually have to be alive to qualify for this insurance and get approved. So it's really sad that they lost a family member. It's also really sad that, the family member didn't care enough about them to get this taken care of. And now they've thrown this burden, this financial burden and responsibility on their family. What a terrible legacy to leave behind. They knew they were going to die. They probably looked at this insurance in the past and thought about it. And then one day they just went and died. And now family members are going to have to pay for this. They're probably going to have to put it on credit cards, pay 26% interest. And it's going to take years and years to pay off. And what a terrible legacy to leave behind. So don't do that. If you need this insurance, reach out to us. We can help you. We can start out small. We can always add more coverage. But yeah, let's find something that works for your budget so you don't do that to your family. Now, one thing that we don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. Now, Colonial Penn, probably seen them out there. They're probably a familiar name. I think probably because they advertise so much on TV. Those $9.95 a month plans seem like they're playing like every, 7 minutes on the TV, right? But that $9.95 plan, just in case you didn't know, that's a 2-year waiting period plan. Yuck, right? Yeah, you don't want that. If you do not want to accept a 2-year waiting period plan if you qualify for first day coverage. Oh my gosh, you're going to overpay so much. We'll show you that in a moment. But, Colonial Penn, they're not the only company out there that offers us 2-year waiting period plans. There's other companies out there as well. There's Mutual of Omaha, there's United of Omaha Line, AIG, Gerber, and so many different other companies out there. And some of these companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you'll ever qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't believe such garbage. Because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Yes, we do. Now, our 79-year-old male probably just got done watching one of those Colonial Penn TV commercials for $9.95. He's probably thinking, boy, I outsmarted Colonial Penn. I waited till age 79. And now I'm going to get so much insurance. I'm probably going to get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And it's only going to be $9.95 because that TV commercial is so slick. And I saw it. They said $9.95. And then our 79-year-old talks with a Colonial Penn agent or gets on their website like we're doing here and sees that for a male age 79, 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to pay out $441. Yikes. That's sad, right? What good is $441 going to do? I mean, that's not going to pay for a cremation, much less a burial, anywhere we know in the United States. So why would you ever get that? Plus, it's got a 2-year waiting period. So, oh my gosh. Now, there's some people out there that say that companies that offer these really low teaser rates, they don't even want you to buy that plan. Those plans are out there just to get your info so they can get you in their marketing funnel and call you up. And they'll gladly show you how, for a premium, how minuscule a certain amount of coverage is. And then they'll say, well, that's not going to do you any good. You need more coverage. Why don't you get this much? And they'll upsell you to a more expensive policy that's much more profitable to the insurance company. Now, we're not saying Colonial Penn would ever do anything like that, but some people think that the insurance companies do things like that. I guess you'll have to make your own mind up just based on the fact that you're only going to get $441 for $9.95. We're trying to get $10,000 in this video, and the challenge you're going to find is that Colonial Penn, they max out at 15 units. And for a 79-year-old male, the most you can get through the $9.95 plan is $6,615, and that's going to cost you $150. You can't even get $10,000. So let's do this. Let's go and see what $10,000 would be in first day coverage. Here we go. $10,000 male and age 79. Get quote, and we're going to go back and look. This is roughly $6,500 for $150. Look at this. I want to show you this here. There you go. So we can get $10,000, and level means first day coverage. Preferred in this case means first day coverage as well. So when you look at that, you could get $10,000 for $126, or you can get $6,615 for $150 roughly. Why would you ever overpay? That's kind of the question. It's almost $25 more a month to go with Colonial Penn, and you're going to get $3,500 less insurance roughly. Why would you ever do that? So, $149 versus $126. So if you overpay roughly $25 a month, that's going to be $300 a year that you would overpay. That's going to be $25 times 12 months. That's roughly $300. If our 79-year-old male lives 10 years, you have ended up overpaying Colonial Penn right at about $3,000 more than if you'd been approved for first day coverage. And all you need to do to get first day coverage is just let us know, and we'll go shop all these different insurance companies, and we'll get you the best price that you qualify for based off your age, gender, health, and the state that you live in. Yeah, there's just no sense giving $3,000 of your money, pulling that out of your bank account over the next 10 years and handing that over to an insurance company. Absolutely, an insurance company that's going to give you a 2-year waiting period plan. So don't do that. Let's look at some other companies here, though, because we're 126 there. And, well, here's 142 level coverage, but the actual premium's like $16 more a month than the cheapest plan. And it's got the same death benefit, same coverage. Everything's the same. You just pay more, $16 more. What's the math on that? $16 a month times 12 months, that's an extra $192 a year. And if our 79-year-old male lives to age 89, you will have ended up overpaying right around $1,920 more. So you got to ask yourself, if you were like walking down the sidewalk and you had $1,920 in your wallet, would you ever pull your wallet out and throw $1,920 on the sidewalk and keep walking and let other people pick that up? No, you wouldn't do that. Why would you do almost the equivalent thing with an insurance company? Because you're literally throwing that money away if you sign up for a higher premium. Yeah, don't do that. Let us help you get the lowest cost that you qualify for. And let's find another company. Oh, here's one. Lincoln Heritage, fine company, I guess, but holy guacamole. Look at that pricing, $171. It is level coverage, but $171, yikes. Why is that so much? Well, they've got a deal that when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 funeral homes to get you the lowest pricing and maybe do a couple other things, but they don't do that for free. They charge for that. And it's going to be $171 versus 171 versus 126. With Lincoln Heritage, you're going to overpay $45 a month. And you're going to overpay $45 a month for the rest of your life. Why would you do that? Let's do the math on that. $45 a month times 12 months, that's going to be roughly $540 more a year. And if our 79-year-old male is age 89, you have overpaid roughly $5,400 over the next 10 years. So ask yourself, is it worth overpaying an insurance company right around $5,400 more to phone 2 or 3 funeral homes and do a couple other things that may only take an hour or so to do, right? No, no. You should keep that $5,400 in your bank account. Yeah, there's no sense transferring that much wealth from yourself, from your bank account, from your estate to an insurance company when you don't have to. What we actually do is we recommend you let us get you approved for the lowest price plan. And then what we offer, free of charge, by the way, is a free funeral and estate planning guide. And you just download that off our website and then you print it out. Once it's printed out, you fill it out. You write down who gets what goes where, and what you want to happen after you're gone. And then you keep that with your insurance policy. And that way, when you pass away, everything's in one place and your family will know that you loved and protected them financially with the insurance, but you also loved and protected them emotionally with the funeral and estate planning guide. And all they'll need to do is open that funeral and estate planning guide, start reading, and then just execute your wishes exactly as you had written. And they will know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but you loved and protected them that one last time in death, exactly when they would need you the most when you weren't here, but you took care of this in advance. What a wonderful legacy to leave behind. So if you want to leave a legacy like that, go to Funeral Funds of America. And we have a special quarter for our YouTube visitors, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. And you can get the best companies and the lowest rates and the most discounts. Take full advantage of that. And then call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can help you out with that. And, you know, if you've got an existing policy and you want us to price shop it or get you additional coverage added onto that, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for brand new coverage or just have some questions, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to that day where we can help you get the most amount of insurance for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with that at some point in the future. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.